Trump's cuts to USAID. Implications for the U.S. and Africa. USA President Donald Trump's decision to cut funding to USAID, United States Agency for International Development, had far-reaching consequences, both for the U.S. and countries across Africa. While it may seem like a distant policy change, the ripple effects were felt across industries and governments around the world. Today, on Global Trend Report, we're diving into how these cuts impacted American industries and African nations, and why it matters. Impact on U.S. industries. For the United States, USAID's role went beyond just humanitarian efforts. It played a critical part in strengthening global trade and partnerships, especially in emerging markets. By funding programs that promote infrastructure development, trade facilitation, and capacity building in developing nations, USAID was also creating new opportunities for American businesses to expand globally. With the Trump administration's cuts to the agency, the U.S. lost out on market access opportunities, particularly in Africa, which had been a growing focus for American companies in industries like construction, telecommunications, and agriculture. Without USAID's funding, African governments had fewer resources to modernize their infrastructures, which limited business opportunities for U.S. companies looking to invest in the region. In short, America's influence was diminished, and global competition intensified. Impact on Africa. A strained relationship. For Africa, the consequences were even more immediate. USAID has been instrumental in providing foreign aid, from funding vital health programs like HIV/AIDS treatment and malaria prevention, to supporting agricultural development and democratic governance. With these cuts, millions in Africa were left vulnerable. Countries heavily reliant on U.S. aid saw crucial initiatives delayed or even halted. One of the most significant impacts was on public health. USAID has played a central role in fighting diseases like HIV/AIDS and malaria across Africa. Cutting aid to these programs has had direct consequences for millions of lives, slowing down efforts to combat deadly diseases. Additionally, many local African businesses, especially in sectors like agriculture and education, faced setbacks due to reduced funding for capacity-building projects. Strained diplomatic relations. Politically, the decision created a rift between the U.S. and many African nations. Diplomatic ties were strained, as some African leaders questioned the U.S. commitment to their development. Many feared that without U.S. support, they would have to turn to other powers like China or Russia for assistance. This shift also meant that American companies lost their exclusive access to key trade relationships in the region. Long-term effects on global competitiveness. In the long run, the loss of USAID's financial presence opened the door for China to increase its influence in Africa. While the U.S. was cutting back, China ramped up its investments in infrastructure and technology, offering loans and development projects that made the U.S. look less appealing. Now the question is, can the U.S. recover its position as a major global player? Or will African countries continue to move toward alternative global partners? Conclusion: a new era of global aid and influence. Ultimately, Trump's cuts to USAID shifted the global landscape. While America may have lost out on opportunities, other countries stepped in to fill the gap. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in international aid and global diplomacy. For African nations, the loss of U.S. support left them searching for new allies, while American businesses had to navigate a more competitive, complex global market. As for the future, it will be interesting to see how the balance of power continues to evolve on the world stage. What do you think about the long-term effects of USAID cuts? How do you see the future of U.S.-Africa relations shaping up? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth insights and the latest updates from around the world. Only here on Global Trend Report.